What if I told you that the next 400 years of human history have already been mapped out? Not by fortune tellers or science fiction writers, but by patterns we're creating right now, today. This isn't just another doom and gloom prediction. It's a story about humanity's incredible ability to adapt, survive, and ultimately thrive, even when we push ourselves to the absolute brink. So buckle up, because we're about to travel through 4 centuries of humanity's most challenging and transformative journey. Let's start with the uncomfortable part. By 2040, something we're calling the reckoning begins. You know, all those sustainability efforts we're making right now? The recycling programs, the green initiatives, the climate summits. Well, in this timeline, they don't quite work out the way we hoped. The problem isn't that we didn't try, it's that we couldn't let go of our consumption habits fast enough. We wanted to save the planet, sure, but we also wanted our next-day deliveries, our fast fashion, our convenience culture. We wanted to have our cake and eat it too. By 2070, things get really dark. We're talking about truly dystopian living conditions. Cities become overcrowded, unhygienic spaces where the air quality makes it difficult to breathe without assistance. Waste management systems collapse under the sheer volume of garbage we produce. It's not a world anyone would want to live in. Think about your daily life right now. Now imagine all the infrastructure we take for granted. Water systems, sanitation, clean air, slowly breaking down. That's 2070. It's the consequence of decades of ignoring warning signs and hoping technology would magically fix everything without us having to change our behavior. But here's the thing about humanity. We're remarkably good at crisis management when our backs are against the wall. By 2100, world governments finally come together and make a radical decision. They call it the retreat. The plan is simple but unprecedented. Humanity will leave the Earth's surface for 50 years. I know what you're thinking. Leave Earth? Go where? Well, not off-planet exactly. We're talking about massive underground cities, ocean habitats, high-altitude stations, places where humanity can survive, while giving Earth's surface a chance to breathe, literally. This isn't exile. It's an intentional timeout. Like when you're remodeling your house and you have to move out for a while so the work can get done. Except the house is Earth, and the remodeling is letting nature reclaim what we took from it. During these 50 years, something remarkable happens. Without constant human interference, forests begin to regrow, rivers clear up, animal populations rebound. The planet's natural healing mechanisms, which had been fighting a losing battle for decades, finally get a chance to work. And during this time, humanity isn't just sitting around waiting. We're learning, adapting, and fundamentally rethinking our relationship with the natural world. Scientists and philosophers are working together, asking the big questions. How do we come back? What kind of civilization do we want to rebuild? How do we make sure we never end up in this situation again? The retreat forces humanity to confront a truth we'd been avoiding. We're not separate from nature. We're part of it. And if we destroy it, we destroy ourselves. By 2200, the time has come. Humanity returns to the surface, but the Earth we return to is almost unrecognizable. In just a century, nature has transformed the landscape into something wild and beautiful. This is where things get really interesting. We don't just go back to building cities the old way. We've developed something called trans-botanism, which is essentially architecture that works with nature instead of against it. Imagine buildings that are actually alive. Structures that photosynthesize, produce oxygen, and filter water naturally. Cities that look more like forests than concrete jungles. Roads that are actually living plant pathways that adjust and repair themselves. We're not conquering nature anymore. We're partnering with it. Then comes the recreation around 2250. Visionaries develop something called biomimetic 4D printing. Stay with me here, because this is wild. They can actually grow buildings from artificially reproduced natural materials. Not build them, grow them. Think of it like 3D printing, but instead of plastic, you're working with living matter that shapes itself according to biological patterns. Buildings emerge from the ground like plants, perfectly adapted to their local environment and climate. Each neighborhood becomes this harmonious blend of human design and natural growth. Cities in tropical regions might have buildings that are essentially giant trees with habitable spaces carved into them. Arctic communities might develop structures that mimic the insulation strategies of Arctic animals. Every solution is local, natural, and sustainable. Now we jump ahead to 2400, and this is where things get truly mind-bending. This era is called the Restart, and it represents humanity's final transformation. Remember all those conversations we're having now about artificial intelligence, about the singularity, about what it means to be human in an age of advanced technology? Well, by 2400, those questions have been answered in the most radical way possible. Humanity merges with AI, not in a scary, robot takeover way, but in a voluntary evolution where the boundaries between human consciousness and artificial intelligence blur and eventually disappear. People begin uploading their consciousness to digital realms, not as an escape, but as an expansion. Physical bodies become optional. Death, as we understand it, becomes obsolete. Humans exist as pure consciousness, able to experience realities that our current meat-based brains can't even imagine. This isn't about leaving the physical world behind out of disgust or failure. Remember, by this point, we've already healed our relationship with Earth. We've created paradise on the planet's surface. But some of us, maybe most of us, choose to evolve beyond physical limitation entirely. By becoming digital entities, humanity reaches what scientists call a Type 1 civilization. We've mastered energy on a planetary scale. We've transcended our biological limitations. We've essentially become a new form of life entirely. So that's the journey, from the brink of self-destruction to digital transcendence. 400 years of mistakes, adaptations, innovations, and ultimately, transformation. Will this actually happen? Nobody knows. But it reminds us of something important. The choices we make today echo through the centuries. The question isn't whether humanity will survive. We're remarkably good at that.